So now we are looking at relative pronoun being used as possessive adjective. Keep one thing in mind, possessive adjective like my, your, his, her, its, they are adjective function. So they need to be followed by a noun. So it is the same with relative pronoun whose. And do not confuse whose with who apostrophe s, because that is contraction of who is or who has. Okay, so now we're going to combine the sentences, creating a new adjective clause. Again, place it as close to the antecedent as possible. You don't want misplaced modifier, and add commas when it is non-restrictive or non-essential. So looking at the first example, Maya Angelou tells about her early life in her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Her childhood, the her is referring to Maya Angelou's childhood, was difficult. So we know the first sentence is our main idea, so it needs to stay our independent clause. So we change the second sentence, whose childhood was difficult, to our adjective clause. And the reason why it is non-restrictive is because Maya Angelou is a proper noun. So even without the adjective clause, you know who we're talking about. So number 2, Securities Corporation's president is a man. His expertise on financial matters is well known. So whose expertise are we talking about? The man's expertise, right? So we want to use WHOSE. So the sentence becomes Securities Corporation's president is a man whose expertise on financial matters is well known. So you might be wondering, why is this restrictive? Because a man is very general. So we're not talking about any man. We're referring to a specific type of man who is very smart in financial matters. Okay. And number 3, First National Bank tries to attract female customers. The bank's president is a woman. So we see that the bank's apostrophe S, obviously that is referring to the First National Bank. So we need to place our adjective clause directly after the bank, which is the antecedent. So First National Bank. Now, this is a proper noun, right? It's not just any bank. We know it is the First National Bank. So we use non-restrictive, comma, whose president is a woman, comma, tries to attract female customers. Okay, and that is how we use our relative pronoun as possessive adjective. So always make sure it is followed by a noun, and actually it is followed by the subject of the adjective clause. So for example, in the first sentence, whose childhood was difficult, right? Whose is modifying childhood, which is the subject. In the second example, whose expertise is well known, whose is modifying the subject, expertise. In the third example, whose president, whose is modifying the subject, president. So it is adjective function. Okay, and that's it.